Hello and welcome to the podcast for Hot Tub Time Machine, and I'm Preston Player now. I'm Steve Monkey Mason, and welcome to the podcast as MGM's Lion roars away. This is the first podcast on the brand new 4K telly. The last podcast I did was for Rain of Fire, and I said then and there that it was a toss-up between the two. So I thought, right, I'll get this done and get one out there. Me and Carl have been trying to plan a podcast for ages, but we'll get there. This is totally unplanned, unpredicted. I've sat down, it's middle of the day, and yeah, we're going to do Hot Tub Time Machine. As turn up the radio, starts banging away in the background, and we get a montage of, people like submitting there, which were probably friends or, like people submitting photos of hot tubs and stuff like that. Which I think was missed, but it's a nice montage. Turn up the radio, hits a Hot Tub Time Machine. What a name for a movie, and what a waffle at the start there. So yeah, this is just a podcast as we start off with a bit of a walk down the street as Craig Robson, is it Robson or Robinson? Craig Robinson, he's been in a few things. I think this is one of his favourite performances as he denies a message from Lou. Obviously this was branded as this year's Hangover. Obviously 2009 seen the release of Hangover. As the actor here just appeared on his phone, who's just hushed, Craig Robinson there, has popped up in a lot of stuff like Paul. He's a very good comedic actor. I find him extremely funny. Obviously the dog there wiping its arse. My dog this morning pissing shit over my new rug in the living room. As I said, I've got the new television in. I'm sitting on the new settee. Again, another thing with podcasts as well. Podcasts come out about 15 gigabytes. Fucking hell, the master of the files. And it's also space in the computer at the minute. But yeah, anyway, podcast, Hot Tub Time Machine. This year's Hangover. Hangover was a massive hit. And they fast-tracked the trilogy of Hangover. And this came on the next year. And we had that kind of like outlandish, kind of like crazy nights out, and we had that theme of the music films, and I think this film is so underrated. As the shit goes in his hand, you know that he's in there with the BM. A little bit of story there that this guy used to be a singer, and it's introducing in the cast here a bit. Now, I'm a big John Cusack fan. I've tried to see every film he's ever made. I think he is a born actor. I think he's natural, and this was, this time he'd been in one of the biggest disaster movies made, is Day After Tomorrow. No, it's not Day After Tomorrow. 2012 was coming out. He was back in the big budgets, but the last couple of years he has been in so much crap. Really, really hit it home in the 80s, had a really strong 90s. But this guy works. This guy travels and works, and this movie is co-produced by him. It's a collaboration, I think, with Steve Pink. Oh, there is some collaborations where Steve Pink directed it. Steve Pink does have his fingers in High Fidelity, I believe, and then we also get introduced to Clark Duke, who seemed to be everywhere at the time as well. He was in Kick-Ass, I think Kick-Ass 2, wasn't he? And also Sex Drive, but then disappeared since. We'll talk about the sequel coming in a bit. But Adam, played by John Cusack, is basically his girlfriend's moved out. She's took everything. He is caring for his sister's son, who's living in the basement, who is obviously obsessed with computer games and social media aspect. And the thing about I love this movie is it was the right time to have an 80s throwback. 80s is throwback now is starting to turn into the 90s, I think, the modern go. But John Cusack heading this with new generations, with a couple of throwbacks of the 80s. I've said this before, I think this is a film where the two Coreys, if they had kept on their path, could have been involved in this movie. I don't know if Haim would be, but I feel like Feldman could have played who Crispin Glover plays, as in the bellboy. But, this is there's two variants of this. I think this is the uncut version I'm watching. Hot Tub Time Machine, 2010's answer to the Hangover. I think this is really well done for someone that sounds absolutely fucking ludicrous. And here comes Lou. Rob Corddry. He seems to have, like, He's in this, and I think he's fucking fantastic in this. And then he's in two other movies where he plays the boyfriend who's kind of been cheated on and just takes it on the chin. There's a movie called The Way Back, where he plays the boyfriend to Amanda Peet, and he's quite sad and lonely in it. And he's also in a film called In a World, which is Lake Bell's written and directed movie, and he plays the boyfriend who's basically about to be cheated on, and he plays it so well. So I just don't think he's been in enough, but he's a working man's actor. But I think the problem with this is Hot Tub Time Machine 2 was quite disastrous, but we'll get there with that. As here he is it going to be suicide or not suicide? Carbon dioxide poisoning in his garage. Over here in England, not many people have garages at the house, but yeah. We cut to the squirrel. The squirrel is an ongoing joke that really, knows that it's going to be serious, but again, reflecting on this phone calls when, he says it in here, it shouldn't take something like this to bring friends together, and I've just experienced that when I've lost another friend this year, and we're all getting together, and it was said, why are you waiting to go in the crematorium, going, it shouldn't take something like this for it to happen, and it's scary, man. So this is the 7th time I've seen this movie this year, okay? I've waited till I got a little bit into it, for people who follow us who go, alright, okay. I've watched this 7 times this year. I watched it earlier on in the editing room one night. I had a date over in the house. Went okay, but that was it. Didn't go anywhere further in the living room. Had a pizza, watched Up to a Time Machine. Had another date a couple of weeks later, and we didn't watch anything, and I was like, should I put a film on? She said, we put Hot Tub Time Machine on. I went, okay. Hot Tub Time Machine went on again, and then I watched Hot Tub Time Machine on a third date, and I got a laugh at it. I still enjoy it, so that's why I wanted to do a podcast. That other date has been going on for a while now, so that's so again, there's a history there, and I also seen it with my friend Bell. Bell's obviously, me and him play pool at his house now. He's built like a basement with a pool table in. We constantly watch movies while playing it, and Hot Tub Time Machine was on as well. So I've seen it quite a lot of times now. I think it flows so well. One of my favourite 90s movies is Ski Patrol, that I was growing up watching, when ski resorts just look like so much fun, cosmic colours, bright colours, snowboards coming in. And there's not a lot of films like that. There is a movie called Out Cold that came out with the London brothers, I think, are in it, and Zach Galifianakis is in it from The Hangover, which is the closest we've had to this. Snow comedies I find are so funny. There's a horrible one with Corey Haim called Snowboard Academy. Avoid at all costs. Jesus. But yeah, it must be hard as fuck to film though. There's a film called Extreme Ops. That's horrendous. That is horrendous. So you've got the brothers here. You've got the friendship here, the brotherhood, as I was going to say. The three of them have grown up together, grow apart. One is completely down his luck. The other one is in a relationship where he's just totally... he's not happy, but he's going along for love. Some people can't understand that. Like, some people just get in them things where it's easier just to go along with it than it is to deal with it, and it builds up into a problem. Rob Coyroy's got the same hairstyle as me, like, Jesus. He pulls the catheter out here, so it's about to get a bit crazy. Again, I think this is brilliantly cast. And as the guys they've got a plan to go up to have a throwback to the childhood. But yeah, John Cusack though, movie wise, has made some amazing movies. High Fidelity, one of my favourites. One Crazy Summer, love that movie. Known for loads, like Say Anything, Better Off Dead. He's been in so many movies. He's been in 1408. He's been in The Disastrous Cell. Really good at narrating. He's been in The Martian Child. He's been in Max. He's been in Anastasia. He's been in fucking loads. Grosse Point Blank. He's been doing a lot of low budget stuff, and he did a lot of low budget stuff following this movie. Now, as they sort of get together, and obviously if you're watching this, you'll know fine well that he doesn't realise that that's his dad. It's a nice fucking full come circle thing. And like the revelations of time travel, and it's aware of Back to the Future. But like, I'm watching this on this new television, even on Blu-ray, this looks absolutely stunning. Obviously pays a bit of an homage there to The Shining, but then typical in the car, it's totally green screen or blue screen, whichever one, and you can tell straight up. I just don't understand, how is it not easier just to do it dragging a car, you know what I mean, on some of them roads, because you've got to worry about reflections, the screens and all that kind of that. There's the joke about Stewie from Family Guy, who you texting. Someone great chemistry. But yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine, like Hangover, had a sequel, and I think the problem with the second one is, one, it goes in the future, but John Cusack does not return, depending on which cut you have. Had potential. Christian Slater comes into the series in the future. It does not have the same kind of tricks as it does. In kind of like John Cusack in the deleted scenes comes back to correct the timeline and sets up a third one, and when it got released over here in the UK, John Cusack is not mentioned in it. And when someone doesn't come back, it kind of like feels like in the recast of the actor, it just doesn't have the same chemistry. If it's to do with timing, then wait. If it's to do with money, then negotiate, but then just give it time. A Hangover, Hangover did 1, 2, 3, bang, done, dusted. They're a trilogy, and no matter how big Hangover 1 was, they'll always be known as a trilogy because they came out so fast. But like people love movies, like look at Beetlejuice, for example, having a sequel decades later. The American Pies can always come back. They could have left it a little bit longer, but sometimes they just push it forward. And I think that's what happened with Hot Tub Time Machine. It was too quick. It's too quick, and I don't think it just went for the opposite, go in the future. Great White Buffalo. Yep, there we go, Great White Buffalo. But yeah, John Cusack looks off his tits. But he just carried this film really well as a snowboard. Now, if you haven't seen this movie and you're still listening to me, holy fuck, these guys are about to go back in time through a Hot Tub Time Machine, along with Chevy Chase, which is a great another 80s edition. I thought that was someone starting to drill outside my house. Chevy Chase, obviously, the National Lampoon series. Try to be a bit more serious actor, with, believe it or not, John Carpenter with The Invisible Man of all things. There's a squirrel again there. And has sort of just dibble-dabbled around, popped up in a very Dundee movie recently. Doesn't take themselves too serious. As the disc comes here that he's now a hyphen and took his wife's name, so there's more end towards this. And it's a paradox. There's a lot of time travel movies that make you think. Back to the Future, I think years later. I mean, Back to the Future and Crispin Glover, who's just appeared on screen now with the one-armed man, obviously is apparently batshit crazy. He has got an album where he sings a song about a clown. Seems, obviously first movie he was really big for was Friday the 13th Part 4. It plays this really, he puts his hand out and all that. But Crispin Glover, Back to the Future, obviously he didn't do the second one, but a court case, what I believe, with Universal Studios for alright, we don't need him, we'll use his likeness, look at the chick of the things out. But to me, that could have been Feldman, in my opinion. Because you've got to look, if you're going to cast back like this, you would try and get people in the roles like that. And like Crispin Glover, he was in Charlie's Angels and he's dibble-dabbled around. I think he's a very good actor, but hasn't done loads. What the fucking sucks cocks and dicks. Yeah, there's the hot tub time machines out there. There's a badger or something in there, a raccoon. Not as big as the raccoons in The Great Outdoors. Yeah, bit of a Twin Peaks vibe with the wood thing. There you go, he's trying to order some hookers. Now, at any point, I'll still be on the podcast, but anytime someone stops here, I actually drilled a hole in the wall last night and hit one of the mains, believe it or not. Brilliant, well done. So I'm hoping today's fine. It's all getting properly fixed tomorrow. But as they're playing in the hotel room, they're pretty bored. But it gets like that, you know, like, you want to get in hookers, fucking hell, man. Call girls escorts. They do bring a bag of drinks though, because they've also got loads of mushrooms and all sorts later on, but it's the 80s though, isn't it? That's when he does it. Aye, time traveling movies. Obviously, Butterfly Effect, and then there was another film called Predestination, which, when I watched Predestination, not knowing what it was, I picked it up for £1. Ethan Hawke film. I watched it, and I was glued to it. I had to get up and have a fucking good word with myself, trying to work out the time paradox. So time traveling and joking stuff around. This makes what makes this quite funny, where films can kind of correct themselves, and you've got to look as well at the script where, you know, these actors, they seem like a really good bunch, and the personalities and the walk of life they had, and obviously the big brother they're going to have to Duncan Clark, and like trying to like appeal to so many different areas of trying to make this a laugh out loud comedy and just letting them improv so much. John Cusack is one of the only actors like who can absolutely penetrate the fourth wall. He absolutely owns High Fidelity. And there's the glowing hot tub. Again, this is where the film doesn't take itself so seriously. And I think that's what you want when you go to see a movie. You're like, if you go to, we're going to see the picture, hot tub time machine. You're meant to go there and you're meant to engage it and laugh about it, you know what I mean? And I think it's a hot tub and it's a time machine. It's funny. The intercuts here are funny. Where the fucking bear comes from, it's funny. The amount of stuff that must have got left on the cutting room floor. Butt crack. Hot tub out in the snowy peaks. John Cusack definitely had a weird thing at this time where he started wearing black caps in a lot of his movies. Like he's wearing a black towel over his head. He had a weird thing where he started wearing something almost like he would be wearing a wig. You know, it's weird. And as I say, click, and then some really good editing here. Quite a good spin around. Great music cues, flash photos, like forward, back, forward, bit of special effects, CGI. And then the whole thing there, Lou just hammering the beer, chucking the beer out the back. And then a fucking bear comes lying in there, drinking what looks like Jim Beam. See, John Cusack got the weird thing on. They got the fucking president's masks, pirate guns. And then there's girls in there somehow. There's a fucking bear. But like, how do you explain that? Well, there's Chevy Chase sort of flashed in there. But then, I mean, there's him getting sucked off by the bear and some tits. But then you think like, if they're travelling back in time, these people might appear in the hot tub with them. Then boom, up into the sky, and Chevy Chase again. Some great shots there. And there's the squirrel. That becomes a big part of it. And then the horrible CGI, fucking sick about up here. Oh, squirrel. Blech. Obviously the squirrel being like a time travelling fucking eel guy. Good bath scene. Now this is a 15. Now when I was back in New Zealand, I picked up the Steelbook in JBI Hi-Fi's. Hot Tub Time Machine Steelbook. Name checks Chevy Chase on the front as an Chevy Chase. Same cast alignment. It's almost like got the Vegas Truck Baby girl on there and the lads in a hot tub. The lads on the back with the squirrel holding the can. And inside it's John Cusack pointing the finger at his girlfriend who's just about to get stabbed in the eye. And I shit you not, I was sitting here last night watching How I Met Your Mother and going, what's the fucking daughter out of it again? And it's Hot Tub Time Machines. That's fucking scary. Because I forgot the IMDb of that last night. Again, you can tell CGI and green screen, and there's a hell of a fall here, like. The Out Cold, I watched that recently as well, and that's got like quite a lot of real life extreme sports falls. Boom, boom, and there's the squirrel again. And obviously the idea that they're young and can fall. You fall now and you just see the fucking break, don't you? Obviously some people could sit there and pick this apart going, well, how's he got his snowboard, how they got that equipment, this and that, and bring the gear, but as me and Carl and Paul always say, it's just a movie. But yeah, obviously Sebastian Stan is here as well. Sebastian Stan, I believe, from what I remember, there's a reference to Hot Tub Time Machine in one of the Ant-Mans, is it, with the time travel and stuff? Might even be one of the Avengers when they look at him and, like, you know, a little cheeky note at the head. But again, the movie Ski Patrol also has like the ski resort people who work out a season. The two Coreys were in a film called Blown Away, and although it's a bit of a Corey Haim, Nicole Eggert porn film, because they were in a relationship at the time, making a movie, and if you've got a script on an out of season ski resort when it's shut down for the season, makes perfect sense. You've got the rooms, you've got the locations, you've got the backdrop, but can you make it work? And that's what they do. It's an out of hours but like people work there, and then, you know, it's seasonal. You come back and then go home, and you know, you're living your life, but you're not really moving forward unless you get your feet in the ground. You know what I mean? You want to build a foundation where you want to live. Like people travel, but here we go. We're realizing it is the 80s. Jerry Curls, MTV, and then obviously the absolute line of the movie, What Colour's Michael Jackson, which is fucking priceless. Smoking cigarettes. And Safety Dance is playing here, isn't it? Poison's playing live. And they realise, here's Alf. I think that's Richard Nixon on the television. Mario Brothers. Alf again. Paulie Shaw, again, could have been another one that could have got in here. But again, it's a well cast movie, and I think they all carry the tropes. What colour's Michael Jackson? It's black. I was running through, out of my way. Obviously the room's changed back. The guy's about to have 2 arms. And Chevy Chase is about to turn up as well. There's also the joke here, are we raping, is I find extremely funny, but I can see why some people would find it extremely offensive. Again, I think Crispin Glover is fucking class here. Are we raping? He has 2 arms. They've gone in the past. And again, not hanging around, is this a Hot Tub Time Machine? There's even a line, do I have to be the one to say it, or as I say, Ed Duncan Clark said it. But I haven't seen it Clark Duncan in much like since then, so we'll get to IMDb because Chevy Chase is about to turn up. and we're rattling through this. So we're already 24 minutes into this movie. So you've got me for another hour and 20 minutes. Wow, they've got a fucking Feeling Love in Las Vegas fucking suitcase full of drugs there. And obviously he's just about to realise the mirror, which is funny. So yeah, IMDb. Here we go. Hot tub time machine. So yeah, to be honest with you, it was 5 years later they did Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Well, maybe it wasn't soon enough. Films take time to find it. So Clark Duncan, who plays Jacob, he's been in The Croods, Kick-Ass 2, Sex Drive, Young Rock he's been in, Inside Job. So he's been part of The Croods, Robot Chicken, Vanilla Mars, Bad Moms, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Identity Thief, was in ACOD, which obviously co-stars with one of the stars, Party Teenager and Superbad. So he's not really done much. Rob in it, his bigger films, he won Enemies for The Way Back. He was great in that. Warm Bodies, I've never seen that. Seeking for a Friend at the End of the World, Brookie, Matt Flint, 80s, 80 for Bradley, which has come out, but not like anything huge. 7 Books, Digital Studios, that's The Rock's IMDb. It's in Sex Tape, Spy, Pain and Gain. But yeah, pretty much just being a Hellion. Some more movies like this are Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Harold and Kumar, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Knocked Up Old School. Films that kind of disappeared. Obviously, look at the cocaine up his nose, it's fucking hilarious. Trivia, I've got the trivia. Craig Robinson came up with the Michael Jackson joke using the trailer as well. It must some kind of Hot Tub Time Machine line. Interview with John Cusack saying he made the cast of film entirely based on the title. There on the mountain, a guy skis past talking on mobile phones. I want my $2 is a reference to Better Off Dead. Steve Pink, Chevy Chase, during the closing credits. Yes. There's a lot of fun facts on here. Several months after the film was wrapped, potential photography, new scenes. When the boys travel back in time and their suitcases find Adams filled with drugs, Jacob asks, "Who are you, Hunter S. Thompson?" John Cusack was actually good friends with Hunter S. Thompson. Cusack was also considered to play Hunter S. Thompson in the film Feeling Love in Las Vegas. There's a scene where, or a very popular picture of Johnny Depp, John Cusack and Hunter S. Thompson wrecked in a thing. There's a lot in here. I don't want to go into too much like this. You can read them all there. Chevy Chase is wandering around. But yeah, as I said, there's some reason John Cusack did not return in the sequel. As Chevy Chase has turned up as a bit of a weird oracle, kind of like not telling you, will telling you. But I didn't really found it as well. So he's gone. But no, this film looks like a lot of fun to make. Fucking big ass pajamas, aren't we? He's still drinking that Johnny Walker. So try to filter out what they can and can't do. John Cusack's got to get stabbed in his eye. As they try to work out the things, let's go to John Cusack actually. I'm going to quickly run down his IMDb of his films and tell you the good, the bad, or the what the fucks. So, Decoy, Pursuit, Utopia, Never Grow Old. I've never seen all his new recent ones. He's been quite quiet the last couple of years, only making 2 movies. He's got 2 upcoming projects, which are Fog of War and Wild Sunrise. River Runs Red, pretty poor. I've not seen Distorted. Singularity was pretty bad. Blood Money, wow, crap. Southern Fury, Nicolas Cage and John Cusack back together, pretty crap. The Cell, Avoid. Shinra, oh my god, that was mental. Hot Tub Time Machine 2 he's credited as, uncredited, so depending on which version. Dragon Blade, like holy fuck, him going across to Asia to take a paycheck. Reclaim, he steals somebody for some laundering, it was pretty bad. Love and Mercy, it was quite a good movie, but I didn't know too much about the Beach Boys and didn't really believe in being that. You got The Prince with Bruce Willis and Jason Patric. You think it's going to be class, it's not. Drive Hard, probably one of his worst fucking movies. Yeah, Map to the Stars, he's pretty terrifying in that. The Bagman, not too bad. Doll and Elle, not seen it. Adult World, really, really good movie. Really hard to come by. Grand Piano, absolutely brilliant. I think phone booth with John Cusack with a sniper rifle, while Elijah Wood has to play a song pitch perfect. Otherwise he's going to get killed. Yep, that's good. The Butler, Poop. Number Station, Poop. Frozen Ground, one of his most terrifying performances he's ever done. It's based on a true story and also reunites him again with Nicolas Cage. We're Not Animals, I've not seen. The Factory, picked that up also in New Zealand when I bought Hot Tub Time Machine. It's about baby factorying, it's pretty dark. The Paperboy, supporting role. The Raven, I think crap. Shanghai, can't remember it. Then he did Hot Tub Time Machine, and that was the same the year before. He did 2012. He did Igo along with Christian Slater. War Inc., really, really bad film. War Inc. is absolutely appalling. Summerhood and The Martian Child, which is a PG, which has one of the most shocking scenes of a dog's death ever in a PG. It's like, oh, the kid's crying, where the dog's real dead on the floor, and it stays on the dog dead on the floor for ages. I wasn't prepared for that. 1408, probably a very underrated movie and very rare movie now. Grace is Gone, never heard of it really. The Contract, Morgan Freeman, not very good. Iced Harvest, I never got around to seeing that. Must Love Dogs, it's okay. Runaway Jury, so boring. Identity, hidden gem. Adaptation, uncredited as John Cusack, that's another thing with Nicolas Cage. Max, that was really poor. Serendipity, one of his best. American Sweethearts, really underrated movie, really funny. High Fidelity, to me personally, he had, being John Malkovich, High Fidelity, American Sweethearts and Serendipity, he had a fucking 4-hit wonder there. As he said, being John Malkovich, bonkers. Cradle Will Rock, never seen it. Pushing Tin, okay. Jack Bull, eventually tracked that down. It is pretty much a TV movie. It's made for TV. It shouldn't be released on DVD. I also, at the same time, watched Thin Red Line, which was just, oh my god, actor after actor, nothing to do. It was boring. In the Midnight of Good and Evil, Anastasia, Chicago Cab, Con Air, Gross Point Blank, in my opinion, really overrated. City Hall, wouldn't vote for it again. Bullets Over Broadway, never really tracked that down. We got Funnin'. Money for Nothing, really underrated film and hard to come by. Map of the Human Heart, The Player, Inside Roads, Shadows and Fogs, True Colours, The Grifters, wow, he starts fucking his mum and that. Shadow Marks, Say Anything, Suicidal Tendencies, 8 out of 10 Men, Tapehead, absolutely brilliant. And then we've also got One Crazy Summer, he was in Stand By Me, Better Off Dead, The Sure Thing, Granville, 16 Candles and Class. He's done a fucking lot. In the meantime, he's met his sister and they're all now got to go out and keep doing what they've got to do. Again, nice little ski resort, all nicely lit up. Stick on that shot, you've got your money's worth there. So he's got to get beaten up. And here he is, the I think the ice cutting guy is going to happen here. Ice carving. Vroom. Obviously, they're trying to build it up so you don't know when he's going to lose his hand, and when he does lose his hand, it's like, holy shit. So I would have been 3-year-old when this is set. Dunk. Seems like sitting there, this is one ending, like CGI shot in the middle of that. I don't know why like storytelling suffers now from like, oh yeah, what suits you? Like, you know, back, I've been watching a lot of older films recently and you're like, right, you get that in there and you look at the shots of what can be done and how it can be done, and then you work with people who are trying new techniques or stuff like that, where you want to do that, you can do that, and then you edit, you cut it and stuff like that. But now it's just like, yeah, I want that shot, it's got to be CGI. No, she looks phenomenal. And obviously cuts to younger John Cusack, who's cast really well. You lasted almost a minute, and I think I came. I think I did. Or 10 minutes. There's some really attractive women in here, because the woman he falls for, I think, is really attractive as well. Now, as I was saying, I was sat like watching this. Like, I'm not going to name the two girls, like, but you know, movie was on there. It was, you know, you watch it a bit, you talk a bit. It was a great movie to watch there. Wait for pizza. Had pizza. This goes a little bit crazy. But yeah, as I said, it just feels weird. It feels right to just do a podcast for it, and I know I'm quite unprepared. And obviously, normally when we do podcasts, I have Carl and Paul. I really want to invite people around the house, and actually, because the living room is now sorted, where there's now another spare settee with a camera set up to actually do watch-alongs and audio podcasts like this. But obviously, just chucking stuff like this out on the channel. Obviously, get flashback scene. He knows he's going to bang her. It's going to happen. And he's dreading it as well. It's like kind of like if you think about X's and O's and the one night stand you might have, and you think, would you go back and do it again? You go something like a lot of the time. You go, yeah, probably would. Would you try it a little bit different? Yeah, probably would. As I say, he's about to meet his nemesis there though. The flashback footage as well, that blurry kind of, you know, like what you would do in cinematic mode now as well, when you would blur it all out in the background, give it a bit of colour. And like as well, it's kind of like, even though he's older and wiser and stuff like that, he's still like, it's traumatised him. And I think Sebastian Stan really like overhypes it. The other kid as well, I believe, is in he's been quite a lot, but I think he's also in Sex Drive. Iron Man challenges him for a fight. Yeah. There you go. And he's crying, having sex. He's having a sponge bath. Calling out his name wrong. It's the whole thing about when he fucking rings her and she's just dead young. So funny. I just want to have a look at that guy who plays the supporting role actually. I think he's called Charlie DeMont. Known for the middle town. Maybe he's not Charlie DeMont. Ah, he is. Sex Drive. He's Andy. Lizzie Chaplin, Cloverfield, Mean Girls, Now You See Me Too. I think she's phenomenal in this. That clicking of the clock, fucking hell, the clock's in the other fucking room. So yep, better hook up to have a threesome. She's not really interested with just one of them. She also gets on the phone. But I guess that's what people are like, you know what I mean? I suppose if you work there and you live there and you just like to go out every night, it's the only options. I think that's what my ex-wife does actually, but less said about that enough. Not saying that she picks people up, but I'm just saying like lives on the resort and like you can have that turnaround of quick people and meet people. So he's Poison. I got to film one of Poison a few months back, but I don't think he's in the film. I think he's like he's one of the backing guitarists or something. I don't know, like they had loads of stories, kept saying that, I couldn't work out who was who, but yeah, they were doing acoustic stuff when they were on tour. It's be on the channel, it's there. But I'm not a Poison fan. Couldn't tell you one of the songs. But I do know my friend Rob is in a tribute band of Poison as well. There she is. There's the bus as well outside my house. Piss off. She's just got such a natural chemistry on camera. A weird hat. But she looks too dressed up to be at a ski resort because it'll be fucking freezing. The band are like got hardly anything on, rocking away. I've been to a few ski resorts, mainly by my dad when I was younger. Could ski, never really could get the hold of snowboarding. But it's one of your things, isn't it? Ice bar. I remember being in Prague. It's still on YouTube. I imagine walking to Prague and I end up with ice bar pissed. I think I get my face stuck to the fucking wall. So there you go. And she's wanting to freeze some. Which is just craziness. He's not too sure. Get a chubby on, don't offend her. She gets the phone call, doesn't she? And more tits. There's a lot of nice tits in this film. And we have less than an hour left of this podcast. Stops for a phone call. He's already naked. He's got a body like me, to be honest with you. It's so hard when you're at the age now, just try and keep anything off you. Especially with Just Eat. Bring me food. I love how there's like a disco ball going as well. And he leaves, doesn't he? He just want to be a part of it. She just comes back and looks at him and just goes, nah. I think I've got to get a fucking raging chubby on. So I'm still like taking in the telly. I bought a telly 3 or 4 weeks ago now. I'll tell you why I bought the telly. I didn't end up with a good telly in my separation with my ex. I changed the living room around and the telly was in the corner. And I was looking and I've been playing the new wrestling game. I picked it up dead cheap by mistake because I went into Smith's Toys And I went in and said hi to the guy as I walked in, you know, just had a look around, and then I went off looking for a new settee. So it made me way around there. I was going to go to IKEA, but I couldn't be arsed. And then I found my way, I think I went up the range, and then I found my way back to Smith's Toys, and the WWE game was still sitting on the shelf at £25. It's meant to be 50 quid, it's just come out. And I picked one up and I went, you know what, I'll get it. Went at the till, the guy was like, that's $49.99. I went, no mate, it's like $24.99 over there priced. And of course the stock doesn't have priced. I went, oh, someone's messed up here. And I got it for $24.99. And you know, it wasn't a change of prices, the stickers were there, it said the stickers, that was it. And anyway, I've been playing Mad Max for ages. Pretty much half this year. I've just finished Mad Max and just actually deleted Mad Max off the computer. And I was just hammering that game. And it was good just to pick up, do a little bit, drive around, fucking piss around, whatever, switch it up, go to work, whatever. And then the WWE game, you know, I had a rant about this on the channel recently, about games anyway. You're sitting there and you're playing the showcase modes and it's giving you shit to say. And you're looking like, what the fuck's that saying? You get up, pause it, go across the television, look at it, come back, sit down, throw a guy in the corner, hit 3 times, next thing, pause. And it got bad, and I felt that was really straining my eyes. And I actually ended up buying 2 new couches for a really good price. I'm sitting on one now. One's the proper one I'm on now. It's on a big circular thing, and 2 can sit on it, or 1 can just completely comatose into one like I am now. And then I had to rearrange the living room, not to block any of the artwork up. And as I said before, I drove into the electrics last night by mistake. Whoops. And then I've got this weird, colourful, wacky one I sit on just to read and relax. It's you know, so I got this living room set, and I was looking at the telly going, fucking hell, straining me fucking eyes. And yeah, I picked up a 65-inch curved 4K plasma telly for I think £550, brand new. And it was a pain in the arse to set up, mind. Not gonna lie. Like in the PlayStation, I had to change your HDMI lead and everything. It was just a pain in the arse, but the quality of the picture, I'm getting there. Moving up in the world. But gone are the days of just being able to go out and splash on that. I'm not one for that. I always save and work towards getting something, you know. But yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine. It's now like coming to the cinema. I had a couple of days around. I like both them dates was just like kind of, oh yeah, I'll just come over. And I'm like, okay, like you come over, you fucking run around like a headless fucking chicken, sorting the house out, and you just like, oh yeah, come over, and like tour the house and all that, and then sit down and watch a film on a small ass fucking telly in the corner of the room. He's gonna lose his arm again. And not lose his arm. Yeah, let's have a look at Crispin Glover, because he has been off the radar. Again, it's a podcast, we're on only 3, I waffle away. And I try to get a lot more of these done. So, Crispin Glover, what is it? Well, okay. Mr. K, American Gods, he's been in for 19 episodes. He's been working Smiley Face Killers, A Lucky Day. I'm just going to start now looking for shit I might have heard of. He's in Bagman as Ned. That is along there. He's in Freaky Dicky as Woody Riggs. Freaky Dicky is a Christian Slater film. Hot Tub Time Machine, Mr. Nice, Alice in Wonderlands. He's the 9. He's number 6. He's been in the open seasons. He's Beowulf, so he's been doing a lot of voice. He's Willy Wonka in Epic Movie. Simon Says, Drop Dead Sexy, What Is It? Is there as well. The Incident at Loch Ness, Party Guest. Well, I would like to see that. So Loch Ness Monster movie. Willard, which seems to get a lot of cult following, like Mike. Charlie's Angels, Nurse Betty, People vs. Lyran, Dead Man with Johnny Depp. That's just recently came out in Criterion Collection. What's Eating Gilbert Grape, in a connection with Johnny Depp. Even Cowgirls Get the Blue. The Doors, which is a good film. Wild at Heart, Twister from 1989, not the one you probably think. River's Edge as well, Keanu Reeves. I've recently just watched that because Corey Haim was in that movie, then was removed from the movie, and the director on the company track kind of tells the story, and it looks like Haim's just had a little fanny fit and they got rid of him on camera on set. So John Cusack's about to get stabbed in the eye. And a breakup. So was he just Ryan Dunn gets stabbed in the eye on Haggard. It is a fork, isn't it? I want to play the field of dicks. Ew. So 2010. Yeah, they could have stole that from Haggard. I would like to see Ryan Dunn in more mainstream movies. I think he was absolutely class in what I'd seen him in. So this took me ages to realise. Obviously William Zappa is in here. Bill Zappa, or whatever you want to call him. Obviously Cobra Kai fame now. Karate Kid. How I Met Your Mother. And on the podcast series, Python and Python 2. Which again, the football scores. The crazy terminology of football, and then interrupted by the squirrel, and then the again changing the past and the future as John Cusack goes on a fucking bender writing poetry absolutely off his tits. And we're in 45 minutes left. Give or take 40 with, talking away on a podcast. I am talking away on a podcast, that's what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm just keeping my social life sorted. It's such a lot of bomb. I'm surprised Hyra hasn't actually been down. As I say, filming down here, tip tappy 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 on the floor. But my idea is to basically much chip away, get this podcast uploaded, because that's one of the biggest times taken, mastering and uploading these. Even though it's an audio file, I'm a bit backwards. Did you know that? And the Thunder and Lightning. Chevy Chase returns. So I think with the movie, when you got the four people, and this they set up a lot between them all. They've all got stuff going on. John Cusack suffering from loss and not being able to find love. Craig Robson pretty much like having regret for choosing a life and not following his career ambition, and pretty much like beat overpowered by his wife. Rob completely and utterly at dire straits. He hasn't got anything to live for. Failed in a lot of stuff. And then you've got obviously Jacob here, who's pretty much just caught in the liner here, but his thing is to try and keep existing, but they've all like been setting up the stories and all went off, and they've all got like character developments, and John Cusack's smoking on a bong, he's not afraid. And even there, Crispin Glover, he's interacting with all of them at different points. And I think Crispin Glover deserves, and with Crispin Glover and Chevy Chase should be the tagline, because he's got a lot of screen time. But I think it's great that John Cusack is in the film. I think he carries the film. I just think the legacy of the movies with him not being in the second one is a fucking problem. And as I say, William Zappa is about to appear. Williams Abbott almost. He looks like he's quite chubby in the face in this, but he's a motherfucker. Well, obviously rocking it now with Cobra Kai. But he's determined, he's kept going. You know what I mean? The fucking squirrel gets him. Classy one. I've never known that clock in my kitchen to be so fucking loud. Click. Clock. Clock, click. Clockety clock, click. So I am watching the unrated version. As these guys set up the bet. John Cusack. Almost doing the end scene from Serendipity there, where he's lying in Central Park staring at the sky. Me took this girl. She's about to take him on his randomest date. Almost Eternal Sunrise, a spotless mind moment there as well. Lying down on the snow. They reminisce. I mean, he's got completely and utterly fucked up in his hotel room and then went out. I'm different to that. Like, I don't like being annihilated in places I don't know. I like to be aware. I like to remember. I like to be alert. Essentially just breaks into somebody's house here. And obviously there's a joke here that coming at, yeah, such and such, and it turns out the house is owned by two guys. Nice. Doesn't feel too 80s, but looks nice. And he comes back to the game. Classy blowjob. And then the magic squirrel appears. And the squirrel wrecks up the game. Hey, what the fuck, man? Looks like a lot of money there, like. Candles lit. So they sort of have their one-on-one moments. Again, John Cusack, really good at the broken hearted. As I said, the film American Sweetheart is really good because, like, he basically used to be married to Catherine Zeta-Jones. They play two actors who are the Hollywood icons, and they've basically broken up, and they've got a new film coming out, which in the movie is directed by Crystal Walken. And Billy Crystal is like a spin doctor. He's like the producer, where basically they haven't got the film. Christopher Walken's gone AWOL, and they're trying to do a press junket out in the middle of the desert, and they're trying to keep Catherine Zeta-Jones and John Cusack apart. And then you throw in Julie Roberts, and it's a Julie Roberts movie essentially, and it's really, really funny. It's got some nice twists and turns. So Cusack really can choose good movies and all that, but the motherfucker is not scared to take a paycheck. Like, some of the later stuff he's done, wow. It's just holy crap. It gets pretty serious there about love and life. Ooh. Crying the finger. But she essentially gets on the bus and it kind of leaves it open, like, will he track it down? How will he track it down? Messages through now, just come at 3 o'clock. What the fuck is this? Sorry, I'm really sorry. I just kissed there. Yeah, sorry everyone. Even though I'm off work, I've got this portal thing. So he comes at. He's got a giant penis joke. Wow, good for you. And it's the whole, so black. There's the bear again. So obviously, like, yeah, I mean, both people I had a date with, like, actually knew who they were, and it was more of a catch up than anything. But again, I had a date, and like, you sort of in the conversation, and then you look over and that's happening. You think, what the fuck? Well, you know, they hadn't seen it. I think when you do the podcast as well, it's good to diverse. The biggest popular podcasts I do are mainly creature features, and for a while I thought I was going to do Anaconda 3, but I've avoided that for now. Your classic turn back, reset everything. I am getting a bit comfortable here. Great joke here, when he's got the cum all over his face. Which is quite funny. But we are closing up. Obviously we're gearing up for the fight. You know, he's getting ready to do his breakout performances, which is obviously massively inspired by Back to the Future. You know, it's a whole, like, your kids will be ready for this sort of thing. But yeah. Oh my god, my phone is going nuts, sorry. So yeah, I might even watch the second one today after I'm watching the Truman Show in the editing room. I've got I've been filming in Leeds and I've been filming in Nottingham at the video shop this week. So I'll be working on that. That's why I was like, I can get a podcast master in the background while I'm doing that. So, you know, for the second one, I just remember the game show thing they kind of get roped into, I think, with Christian Slater, and it becomes so graphic. I think one of them ends up getting bummed from what I can remember, and it all being in the future, and someone shot Lou, and it's trying to find out who shot him. And I honestly believe I watched it this year, but again, I get in the weird drunk states. I'm watching loads of random movies and it just becomes a blur. But it's good to, like, this is definitely, like, when I was trying to sort a few Blu-rays out, this ended up in the other room where it's kind of like, yeah, it's going up there as like a safe haven movie. It's got like that, like, time and place for me, from when it was done, from when it came out, and I just found it very funny then. I still find it funny. I find even bits funny talking about, like, William Zappa before, not realising he was originally in it, and, you know, Sebastian Stan really getting his kind of starting with it, but it goes on and on and on. So I keep getting notifications because
someone's looking for something and tagged all those shops in at work. Everyone's just like, can you remove me from this, please? So my phone is beeping next to us. It's annoying. So he's on about being cheated on, and he's got that, and he's kind of just been pushed over. He feels like he loves his wife, but maybe he's given her too much rope, and he just doesn't feel like it's a relationship. And Lou's kind of like fucking at a lost cause. I think Lou's been divorced a few times. I think that's in the story. He is a fuck up. Like John Cusack said, he's an arsehole, but he's our arsehole. And I think that's like you grow up with your friends and all that, and it's kind of like what you're trying to say. Like, it shouldn't take a fucking they're gone now for everyone to get together. Just try to make the effort. Chevy Chase back again. I think Chevy Chase is in the second one. But doesn't Lou build a time machine or acquires a time machine? It just feels very forced. This fucking thing at work is... Do my tits in. It says beep, beep, beep. It's gotta get on for ages. It's 124 members. I know. I'm not at work. I can't go away. Okay, so here we go. He's got to do his I sings Jesse's Girl, doesn't he? Then he breaks in Black Eyed Peas. That's the ski resorts, guys. Again, war with Russia would have been going on there. He's got Red Dawn poster in his room. He's got high school up there in the corner. Just trying to look at the posters in the background. A nice little cut there to speed up the song. And Jesse's Girl, he's got the crowd on his go. And then it pays tribute to Back to the Future. Your kids go to love it. You get it early. And he sort of becomes like a main producer. Knows all the songs before they get there. But I believe the sequel even pokes fun at him for all these disaster ones he'd done and all that, but like this one leaves him on a high. He's busting in a rap there. Got the crowd going. I hate you. Where's the random bear? And I love this. This is so funny. He's got all the shots at the bar. She's there. The glasses are smashing. I just think that's just so fucking funnily done. You do it again? Smash it again. Obviously Poison's finished. Clark's trying to round up the troops. Best chat, you like me. John Cusack bringing his date. She's about to leave. He's tackled his music triumph. That's a lot of fucking band members. How do I get a hold of you? You come find me. He's asking how do I get a hold of you. Sounds weird, hard. Clock strikes 12. He gets the beating of his life still. Can't change again. So he can't change certain stuff. Yeah, I definitely remember trying to watch Hot Tub Time Machine too. It lives in my Christian Slater collection. Released on Blu-ray, but you don't see it. You don't even see Hot Tub Time Machine now in the shelves to buy. I think it's on it's MGM. Sorry, my stomach's going nuts. So Lou's had a beating. John Cusack though, for one night, he was hitting mushrooms, bongs and all that. I'd be done for days. He looks very sober. It's like the longest night ever. I'll find his shoe, don't I? One shoe on a roof. I do apologise for my stomach. Wow. Then becomes Motley Lou and Lugal and has fun with it. Obviously green screen. But does it need to be green screen? I mean, why can't it just be a big backdrop? And obviously they've built the set what they're on. And that's a nice set they've built. You know, it's better to be a rooftop and there's about a nice scene. Revelations of friends, he admits he's killing himself, he's going to kill himself. They're all kind of fix and make it better for the past and get everything out of the way. And show that friendship's one of the most important things you can have in life. Someone's put I'm Spartacus. Someone's got. What is this waffle? So, sorry, that whole thing's going mental. So, CGI dropped there, but obviously they're all going to go down, they're all going down together, and they're saved by Crispin Glover, the bellboy. And pulls everyone up. Full on Batman, Batman Begins. So nearing the end of this as well though, because we're up to Stephen trying to do maths, still about 25 minutes left actually. We're at an hour 14 minutes. of the survived near death. So yeah, podcast Lonely Tree. Wow. If you listen to this far, congratulations. You don't get anything. I got proper stomach cramp coming on. Right, she's about to leave on the tour bus. Obviously a bit of an homage to Dumb and Dumber. Do you want to go on the bus? No. She's on tour with the band. So the band don't really get like a cameo. This would have been the perfect time for the band to be standing there going, yeah, Poison, but obviously that would have been them obviously looking their age now rather than from in the heyday they would have had. But you know, it kind of would have been a fun cameo from them to be there because you don't really see that they're on the stage. But yeah, obviously you don't know where this is going to go, but as you know by the end of the movie, obviously using the classic song as the days go by, you might find yourself in a house. You know, and he finds himself in the house with the girl, you know, and she chops her hair off and stuff like that, and they're together and he's found love. But then, you know, like, would he remember them 20 years that have passed? You know, like, oh my god, his memory, the fucking brains and all that. Do you remember alternative timelines and all that shits and giggles? Right, so they're going in to get the Chernobyl, armed with a fucking bellboy as they bust in. Rico Iglesias is going to be using this. So the soundtrack is literally like hammer at home with classics meets new. Really good music cues of how stuff's going to be going down. There you go, poster on the wall and catch up, but there's a Red Dawn poster there. Rocky 4 poster on the wall. Obviously sees a picture of his wife, he's about to have a little thing there. Obviously there's about sex scene here and the realisation that his mum and Lou are his dad. It's just so frantic. I love how much you hate you. It looks like I can't work out the font on that poster. And there you go. He's sitting in the bathtub shouting the fuck. It's called White Knight. You did it to him, didn't you? You did it. And she's a little girl in the bed. It's so funny. Why she would have her own phone in a bedroom at that age though, but again, it is just a movie, but it's so funny. Stay out of this. Hand up the phone, Jerry's nothing to say to you. Very, very funny that. Madonna in the sexual scene. Walked in a loo bagging. The realisation that he's the father. And after, I feel pregnant. Oh yes, I'm coming. very awkward, funny sex scene. Even awkward for me watching it and meant me talking about it. It's just so well done. That's great. Instantly comes back. He tries to kill him again. Funny revelation. Pays off so well though. I feel pregnant. You're welcome. And Sebastian Stan returns. Letting Dylan know. Here comes Ricky Iglesias. Final battle scene. So yeah, 19 minutes left. Give or take, I'm moving. So let me sit crunch. He gets back up for one more fight. You're the violator! He jumps on the couch, doesn't he? He floors him though. You're the violator. Look at him revving him up. Ricky Iglesias, slow motion. Jumps on the couch. Goes Superman punch but misses. Ooh! Fucking square in the forehead. Gets back up and just goes nuts. Kicks in a motley crew, doesn't it? Proper spear that, like. Fakes the Chernobyl attack. We are Russian spies. Sebastian Stan proper overacting there, like, oh fucking hell. Then obviously sets up they're going to chase him down, and then they're actually going to. Again, I can't, like, Ski Patrol is a film that I know it's not long just been released in America on Blu-ray, but it won't work over here. But that is a film that I think, like, you know, just had so much fun for being there. But what's that there for? They seem to just be partying and all that, but like they're there to save lives and stuff, you know. Like, we're gonna get even. Bye, Mom. He waves and he gets his arm chopped off. So I just having to screenshot some things. He's just lost his arm, hasn't he? Don't do any hard time. Cannonball in. Sorry, I had to reply a few. So big special effects scene here, obviously showing the tornado to the vortex, the wormhole, which obviously we don't see at the start of the movie, where we've got the montage and all this, and he starts swirling around, and the realization that Lou stays behind, which is kind of scary to think, like, you know, he would live an extra 20 years and pretty much just roll through life that way, and he capitalizes on Lou, and you know, he's Motley Lou and Lou Girl and billionaire, and you know, stays with his mom, gives Jacob a better upbringing. He didn't know he was trying, and also he was trying to kill himself, and they say they knew as well. So it's kind of like the film's got heart. The film's got a lot of friendship thing and like trying to be there for your friends, but the thing is, life gets in the way and life happens, and days and weeks just become fucking fast. I was talking about my friend Bell before, and like me and Bell, give or take a couple of months ago, I seen him every other weekend, and all of a sudden, you know, with a tour, we've just done an island and then work, and then he's got his things going on, and I mustn't have seen the guy for 2 months, and it just happens, you know what I mean? You can't explain it. It's just like, shit, man, you know, like life gets in the way, but making that effort, you know what I mean? But the most important thing is having friends that you know that are there for you whenever you ever do really need them. You know what I mean? That's the friendship circles you need to build in life. And but again, it's not to say that it's always perfect. There will always be times that test you. But great shot there. I mean, it falls down there. The water there is a little bit loose and going in the hot tub. It's still quite cartoony there. I think it's just the shading. But yeah. 2010, isn't it? It's amazing what they can do with CGI and computer stuff in that, man. I'm still old school. I don't even own a blue screen or a green screen. When he's left in my DVD to play, the music's gonna start. They're not to worry about where they live because they don't remember. The violator, the boat. And he'll be waiting 20 years for them to come back. Wearing the fucking tidy whities. So I'm not going to go through the whole I'm on my way home kind of ending, because that is an epic ending. And it's still there's Motley Lou. That's your dad. Fucking hell, he went flying off his chair there. Actually, the bellboy's like, oh yeah, I got my arm fixed on. But then the bellboy remembers him. Do you know what I mean? And like, he's got to be in on it. There's the bear again. He's in strict orders how to get him home. Lugal. So there you go. What a fucking house number. 32499. You get dropped off, he's married. You might find yourself. Any days go by. Is that Total Heads? No, it's not Total Heads. Let's have a look who sings that song. I should know that. I'd cry. She looks better with long hair, I will say that though. Sorry. Boosh. Mystery. Definite Public Enemy. Motley Crue. Men Without Hands. Safety Dance. NX. Give up looking for that. And then she's saying that she had the crazy psycho phone call. It is Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime. I was right. And Motley Lou, Barbecue. And obviously, they know, they don't know. He's got his hair implants. They're a family, they're not a family. And again, bringing back the friendship thing. So I will not lie, I've run out of a little bit of steam because I've needed a coffee. I've only had one coffee, which you didn't really know that. I've got cream pants on and I've spilt it because I'm sunk into the couch. But again, these are throwaway podcasts just for the channel, just for content, because the better than fuck all, as the guys all toast. And we're about to break into a variant of Motley Lou, On My Way, Home Sweet Home. You know, he's hit wonder after wonder. Nick Webber's move thing. But yeah, Home Sweet Home. Treasure of Pain. Spoofing the music video. Obviously MTV would have had quite a bit of endorsement on this. Obviously mentioned earlier on, and you know they've made the effort into remade the music video. But yeah, directed by Steve Pink. I don't know if there's a hidden bit. Let's see, fast forward here. 6 minutes. Montage credits. Blue font with white writing, which I like. I think it's a nice collaboration. No extra features. So that's been the podcast for Hot Tub Time Machine. So there's loads of podcasts on the channel, and as I said, we have been trying to get them done quite more. But yeah, as I said, with a Rain of Fire, I'll get Hot Tub Time Machine, and that is the 7th time I believe I've watched it this year. So thanks very much for listening.